She was on the floor screaming my name, begging me to stop, but I hadn't touched her. I was standing outside on the phone, so I was dating this woman for a while. I loved her, I really did, but she had some serious mental health struggles. Depression, mood swings, and she refused to take her medication. Every time I brought it up, it turned into a full-blown argument. But this one particular day, things went further than they ever had before. We were arguing again about her meds. I was in the other room trying to keep my cool. Then, I heard it screaming, loud, and slapping sounds. I knew what she was doing. She'd done it before. She would slap herself and scream like she was being attacked. Her way of making me look like the abuser, if anyone ever came around. It was exhausting. Living with someone you love, but walking on eggshells every single day. Never knowing when the next episode would hit. Never knowing if today would be the day a neighbor calls the police because of something you didn't even do. I'd had enough. I stepped outside to get some air and called her parents. I needed them to know what was happening. What had been happening for a long time. While I'm on the phone, explaining everything, my neighbor comes storming over, face red, angry. He starts going off on me, telling me I should be ashamed, that he could hear a woman screaming inside my house, and that men like me make him sick. I didn't argue with him. I didn't raise my voice. I just said, come look. I walked him to the window. Her blinds were still open. She had no idea I'd even stepped outside, and there she was on the floor, slapping herself, screaming my name, crying out for me to stop, over and over. The neighbor went completely silent. You could see it on his face. The confusion, then the realization, then the shame. He looked at me and apologized. Then he told me something that hit different. He said he'd heard screaming from that same house before, on days when he knew for a fact I wasn't even home. That was the moment everything became clear to me. I loved that woman. I genuinely did. But love is not supposed to feel like a courtroom, where you're always the defendant. Nobody should have to live their life constantly, proving their innocence inside their own home. I made the decision that day to walk away, not out of anger, not out of hate, but because I finally understood that loving someone doesn't mean destroying yourself in the process. I hope I never experience anything like that again in my life. And if you're out there right now, in a situation where you feel like no one would believe you, I see you. It's real, and you deserve better. Have you, or someone you know, ever been falsely accused by a partner, or found yourself in a relationship that was slowly breaking you down? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one.